All right, welcome to the Sharp Mind Show, episode 91. I'm Nate, the Fit Future MD, your host. Be sure to shop at InstaSale.com and pick you up a cool, inspirational t-shirt today. So what I do is I put inspirational messages on t-shirts, hoodies, hats, stuff like that. So if you're interested or have a inspirational message you'd like to put on a hat or a hoodie or a t-shirt, then hit me up in the DM and I'll be happy to make that for you. Obviously, it's Christmas week, so Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah to everyone, Happy Holidays to everybody else. Um, but so last week, I had the birth of my baby girl, a second child, baby girl. So very excited about that. But it was also a tough week because I had the passing of my father, right? So um, that being said, this will be the first Christmas without my dad. But it'll be the first Christmas with my new baby girl. So um, blessed to have 39 years with my father. You learn a lot from your father in life. You grow up to want to be like your dad. And luckily, I had a good example of a father. A lot of people don't have that in life. And so I'm very blessed to have had 39 years with my dad. All right. So we'll start with the topics today. Um, and say also keep the rest of my family in your prayers. I really appreciate your prayers and support. All right, so got a lot to cover from the weekend. So Jake Paul loses to Anthony Joshua via a broken jaw knockout. Right. So according to rumor and speculation, Anthony Joshua was supposed to win the match, but was not supposed to knock out Jake Paul. Right. So that's according to speculation, not true. Sure what's true, was not true. But they wanted to have it where you win in a split decision, and then so you have multiple fights. Obviously, that's not going to happen here. But really, this fight really shows that a weight class can make a huge difference, right? Because Anthony Joshua was much bigger than Jake Paul. You could see it on screen. And Jake Paul was definitely gained weight for this fight and was definitely slower than in previous fights. And obviously out of shape. Couldn't make it the full 8 rounds. But he also broke his jaw. So um, it was very clear that Anthony Joshua wanted to make a message here that boxers and uh, I guess promoters are two different things. And so Jake Paul is a really good promoter. The Paul brothers are really good promoters. And obviously, Anthony Joshua goes away with a $200 million payday from this event on Netflix. So, um, pretty cool. Don't know if he'll get paid because if really broke the contract, he wasn't supposed to knock him out or whatever the rumor is. Um, but they'll say, he actually did get knocked out. He just decided not to continue, right? So, because he wasn't, lights out, knocked out, right? He just had a broken jaw because he obviously didn't keep his mouth clenched. His mouth was like this when he got hit. So, because he was, in my opinion, out of shape for the fight, right? So, let me know what you guys think about Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua's fight here. Um, did you even watch it? Who knows, right? All right, so big news from yesterday is that Panthers beat the Buccaneers with a late game. Panthers beat the Buccaneers with a late game interception of Baker Mayfield. Can't say interception today. So this puts the Panthers in first place at 8-7, and puts the Buccaneers behind. All right, so and the Panthers have the Seahawks next week, and then the Buccaneers again at Tampa the week after that, right, to end the season. The question is, can they win the next 2 weeks and keep this lead over uh, the Buccaneers? I think it's going to be very difficult, for to play Seattle. But Seattle just, the Rams just proved, we beat the Rams. I think we beat the Rams, and so we proved that we could hang in there with the big boys if we need to. But that being said, Seahawks are going to be a difficult challenge for the Panthers. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Can the Panthers uh, make the playoffs here in the next two games, or is this kind of just keep the fans interested late in the year and not make the playoffs type of year, right? It's interesting we started all this. I'm not going to worry about all that, but let's say it's definitely been an interesting year, up and down year. Um, so keep that in mind. Bryce Young basically wins this game for us yesterday. Let's see. Let's check out the box score. Going 21 for 31, 191, and 2 touchdowns. Dowdle didn't do nothing yesterday, 3.2 yards a carry. Hubbard got 4.5, so Hubbard was doing a little bit better. So honestly, the Buccaneers really dominated this game as far as time of possession and all that kind of stuff. But the one turnover at the end may have been the difference. So let's say in Tampa Bay rushed really well. But Baker didn't really have that much success, which makes no sense to me because you got Mike Evans and Goodwin on your team, and then Emeka Egbuka, which is the rookie, I think, but T-Mac had a great game. Xavier Leggett had some drops as usual. Coker had a great game. So nothing too crazy here. More of a defensive battle, but the Panthers are in first place. So let me know what you think about the Carolina Panthers. All right. And one more thing in sports today. So that's 3 straight sports here. Sorry. But JMU and Tulsa both get smacked in the college football playoff, and Miami wins. How about that? So is the entire college football playoff process or selection process messed up? And to me, the answer is no, right? I do feel like Miami probably is the best team out of the ACC. So them getting in over the ACC champion who had lost 5 games, it was pretty much obvious. But, if the basically, if you want to do it like the NFL, where you have conferences that play everybody in their conference twice a year, you're going to have a lot bigger schedule, number one. Or you at least play everybody once with the big, all these conferences have so many teams now, basically consolidated conferences, right? But, that way you would know for sure whether a team was the best in that conference or not, because that's really basically what happened. And then you had someone like Georgia Tech, that was sitting pretty, and then they had to face Georgia, somebody else in a different conference. And so then they end up with 2 losses and they're gone, right? And they also lost, I think, after that too. But they were in the driver's seat. Virginia was, 10-2. But it's because they're not facing it. Miami didn't face Virginia. Miami didn't face, I don't think Miami played Duke, right? So you got to keep that in mind. But I don't think the process is messed up. I think it is a general process. The top 4 seeds should go to the highest seeded conference champions, right? And then you fill in after that. To me, that's, I think they're doing 5, right? 5 automatic bids or whatever. But to me, it should just be 4 automatic bids, top 4 conference champions, and then the top teams after that, right? So obviously Notre Dame was left out of this process due to that. And so that is the argument there against JMU and Tulsa. But JMU and Tulsa would have been automatic bids because of conference championships, right? And so Notre Dame doesn't have that, right? So, but just because they got smacked, it's very historical for teams to get smacked. Obviously, because the actual teams that are in the top 4, top 5 are actually head and shoulders above everyone else most of the time, right? So just showed that here. I think JMU scored like 34 points, but I think the other team Ole Miss may have already pulled their people. But um, tell me what you guys think about the JMU Tulsa both getting smacked in the playoffs and Miami taking the W, right? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. All right, so this episode is brought to you by Dylan and Davina, The Adventure Begins, which is my wife's children's book. Be sure to check out Dylan and Davina, The Adventure Begins. If you have nieces, nephews, or children of your own, it will make a great stocking stuffer, and it also will help your child learn and grow. And it is an enjoyable story that also has great morals, great themes. So check that out. Available on Amazon, written by best-selling Amazon author Meredith Dillon Johnson. All right. So we're moving on to money today. And so it's the end of the year. And so at the end of the year, every year, you have to figure out what's your investment strategy going to be for the year coming up, right? So you've had you having a strategy for this year. Number one, you're going to check the stocks that you're investing in this year. Are they still going to be investments next year? Number one. And then, so what is the long-term investment strategy here? How do you find stocks to invest in next year? How do you find stocks to invest in next year? All right. So number one, I'm going to take my current list. I'm going to put it on a 3-year cycle with a 1-week bar, right? 1 week, bar, 1 week bar. And so I'm looking for where are we at in that cycle, right? So if we're down here, so you got top and the bottom of the chart, right? So if you see the chart right here, bloop, bloop, you got top and the bottom of the chart. Where we want to be investing at is middle, basically going up, right? We want the chart to be doing this, right? And so we want to buy low and sell high, right? So if you look at Apple right now, Apple's chart is up here. We don't want to be buying up there. Tesla's chart is up here. We don't want to be buying here. Microsoft's chart's up here. We don't want to be buying up there, right? We want to be buying here, down here, somewhere, right? So you got to find the stocks that are doing that, right? So Palantir stock's way up here. NVIDIA, way up here. So there's so many people that are investing in the Magnificent Seven or whatever they call it now. And yes, the Magnificent Seven do print money, right? So one of the big ones for last year was Google, right? Google was down here, right? And so this year, Google popped up here, right? So we're not in buying more Google because Google's already up here, right? We're keeping what we got, but so we're looking for stocks here, right? That we can get there, or at least in the middle, right? So that's what you're looking for in a long-term strategy, right? So you're going to choose 10 stocks to purchase next year. I like dividend stocks personally, right? So I like to know that 7 years from now, I'm having all my money back no matter what because of dividends, right? So, and I'll give one example here, and the ticker is DOC, which is DOC, which is a REIT, right? And I can pull it up just to talk about it a little bit better. But it's Health Peak Properties. It is a REIT, so it's real estate. And their current numbers are sitting at $16 a share. Let's see, your dividend is 7.6, right? Which is not good. So if you read the headlines, it's right now it's currently in a 20% decline in stock price. Analysis see potential for 60% up as the company shifts to focus on high return life sciences properties and maintain strong liquidity position, right? So they're going to have strong cash, waiting to buy things as they become available, or if they do, in the high inflation situations, right? And when uh, interest rates come back down, right? So they're ready to go. Uh, Obviously, I missed the dividend date. The dividend date was December 19th. So we missed that dividend date. But this is what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for something that on a 5-year chart or 3-year chart is down, and if it, so you got a double. So let's see, $37 was the high, it's sitting at 16. So you're looking at a double up, minimum double up. Plus, I get all my money back in 7 years because of the dividend. So that's what I'm looking for long term. I say it's not the okay long term, and then I'm taking one stock a year, and I'm gonna say, okay, this is gonna be my 100x stock, right? And so to find that is a little bit more difficult, but I'll talk about that some other time. But you got that one stock, so 99% of your money or 90% of your money, and then 5% commodities, and then 5% into this one stock. So that is your long-term investment strategy, right? And so that's how you go. That's how you protect the money you've made, and that's how you grow your account at the same time, right? So let me know if you have any questions about that. I'll be happy to answer them. Hit me up in the DM if you want to set up this type of thing for yourself. I'm a life coach, so that's what I do. I help people set up their life so that they can be successful long term. All right. All right. Moving on to life coaching today. And it says, a client has chased the same dream for 15 years with no progress. Right. At what point does persistence become avoidance of reality? Right. Maybe this dream is not for you. Right. So some people have heard this before, right? They quit right before they're about to hit, right? Or something like that. But there is a certain point where it's like, do I need to pivot? Right? Is this, because sometimes it's not the entrepreneur that's at fault, right? So say doing what I'm doing right now. So if I upgrade all my equipment to $1,000 equipment, we got the nicest equipment, right? And I have the best. So say I get the top 5 people that bring views, on the show, whatever, and we talk and have a discussion or whatever, and I do all of that, right? And I would make this channel the best that I could ever make it, right? Put 50, 100, 200, $300,000 into the channel, and I still don't succeed, then it might be time to think about shutting it down, right? But like I said, I'm not here for the money. I'm here to help people. So hopefully, knowing that I'm here to help people, um, just like my last thing, teaching for free, it's verbal, right? So you're gonna have to write it down what I say and do it. But it's teaching for free how to find long-term investments, right? It's basically for free. It's not financial advice. I'm not telling you which ones to do. I gave you an example of what it looked like, but I'm not telling you what to do. But you know, but there might become a time where it's like, okay, you know, I got 200 clients over here that are paying me, and I'm giving it away for free right here. It may not be worth my time to do a 20-minute talk every week or so. I was just doing it every day for 69 straight days, right? I did it every day for 69 straight days. There comes a point where it's not worth it to do 69 straight days. It's worth it to do once a week, or once a month, something like that, right? So it might not be that you're completely, like the dream's not meant for you. It might just be that you have a success other places, right? So, um, And there's a thing out there that's talking about doing what you love or whatever. But it actually doesn't mean that it's going to be easy. Doing what you love is not necessarily easy. Doing what you love basically means how long are you willing to suffer to make it work, right? So keep that in mind. But yes, you've been doing something for 15 years and it's not working. You have to think about different strategies, right? So this is one of the different strategies here because I take each one of these sections and I break them down. I put them on all the other platforms, right? I put them on as Reels. I put them on as a TikTok. I put them on Snapchat. Uh, basically, any other platform. Um, basically, I put it on Facebook. Put on every platform and Twitter or X. I put on X. So I use this video to do all of that kind of stuff, right? So, but yes, there will be a point where it's like, okay, I'm making, four or $500,000 over here helping people as a life coach, and I'm giving this stuff away for free over here. Like I may spend less time on the free and more time on the paid, right? So there will be a scenario where that kind of stuff happens for me, right? So, all right, last thing, and that's the quote of the day, and it says most people don't lack talent, they lack follow through. And so this is basically a sales quote, right? So basically, when you go to sell something, you don't sell something that you don't believe in, right? So if you go sell health and fitness, or you go sell cars, or you go sell whatever, right? That brand new Mustang comes through your car lot. You believe in that Mustang, right? You know this is the best car that anybody's going to buy out there, right? Um, the best value fast car out there, right? Is the Mustang. Always has been, always will be. And Camaro was pretty close for a little bit, but it kind of died down. But basically, this is a sales quote, right? So if you believe in the product, you believe the product's going to help somebody, right? So if you're selling health and fitness, you know that health and fitness is going to help somebody, right? They're going to go from 300 pounds to 180 pounds, and be diced and healthy and live longer and all that kind of stuff, right? So keep that in mind. So then all you have to do is, present them the project, present them the solution to their problem, and then just follow up with them every once in a while, right? Follow up, follow through, right? So you don't lack talent, you just lack, hey, follow through with them, like, hey, keep up with them, right? And so that's really all you have to do in sales is to follow through with your clients. And if you do that, you will 100%. So I'll give you an example. A guy from Anderson Windows or something came by, gave us a presentation, quoted a window way too high, right? But we personally never heard back from him, right? Now we got some letters from his company, but from him personally, we never heard anything back, right? So, but all he had to do, for the next, it might have been 10 years from now, right? When the cheap windows stop working, or a hurricane comes through or whatever, not to put it out there, but basically the cheap windows that we went with didn't work. And then all of a sudden, okay, he's back in the game, right? So, and he could have done that once a quarter, whatever. But people won't follow up like that and will continue to follow up. You're just in the rotation, right? And so a great example of that is Grant Cardone. That's basically what Grant Cardone teaches, is that, every customer is a client, or every client's a customer, but not every customer is a client. Anyway, something like that. He basically teaches that everybody is some level of a client, right? So you treat them all the same, you follow up all with them the same, and you will get a better result. So I'm Nate. I'm the Fit Future MD, and I'm a life coach. So if you're looking to set up your life where you can follow through and get better and make the life that you want and stop being poor and broke and miserable and in jobs you hate and stuff like that, then hit me up in the DM for life coaching. Let's get you set up. Let's get you set up with the dream life that you want. And if I can't make it happen for you, I'll give you 100% of your money back, guaranteed, no questions asked, right? So keep that in mind. Check out IsraelSell.com, pick up a cool inspirational t-shirt. Would love to make anything that you would want me to make for you. Would appreciate your support. Make sure you shop it. Make sure you check out Dylan and Davina, The Adventure Begins, which is a sponsor of this video. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.